Herb Williams with us, the coach of the Evanston Wildcats. And Herb, another barn burner this afternoon. That's getting to be commonplace, isn't it?
Well, we're used to it. We've been doing that all year, you know. We just like to give our fans a little thrill before it's all over with, you know, but making it hard on the coach.
I was going to say, maybe he's throwing the coach a little bit too much. What was the key this afternoon? You got another airtight ball game. Looked for a while like you might get it under control. It was a matter of rising to the occasion time and time again, wasn't it?
Well, I think really the key to this afternoon's ball game was the fact when we changed our offense and put Everett Stevens on the punt, and I just knew that they didn't have a guy that could stay with Everett one-on-one. So our offense was geared to his one-on-one type movements and getting picks and rolls for him. So we made them play us defense.
Herb, you've got a real challenge tonight in Simeon. There's no doubt about that. Here's a very fine basketball team, a team a little bit bigger than you are.
They're a little bit bigger, and we're just going to go out and do like we've been doing all year, work our rear ends off, and hope everything comes out like it should be.
Well, one thing we can almost guess, it's going to be close.
We never make it big. Typical Evanston blowout.
This is kind of a repeat for you. You've been in a title game before as a player here, haven't you?
There's not that many repeats in my title game, though. It's been a little while, and they threw one in from the corner, so really I haven't got it here yet, so this is the one we want tonight.
Herb, great season. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Herb Williams, the skipper of the Evanston Wildcats. What a year he's had, and here's Bob Hambrick, the head coach at Chicago Simeon. Bob, we've talked throughout the tournament. Here you are playing for the title.
Yeah, well, this is a real big one here. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's a tremendous thrill. I know it means a great deal to the school and to the players and yourself individually. First trip, and you're in the title game.
Right. We just completed a mission. We set out on this course about 6 months ago, and now we're about to make this dream come true.
Bob, how did the effort this afternoon against Aurora West compare? Is it one of your better ball games of the season, would you say?
No doubt about it. That was one of the two better games of the season. The second one will be played in a few minutes.
You hope you have one big one left, huh? Yeah. Bob, what's the key against this Evanston club?
I don't know. I haven't seen them, play that much, and all I can think is that we're just going to do the things that we do best, play good defense, work together, and look for the open man, and try to come out here as a winner.
Yeah, it's a matter of reacting at this point, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Kids are tired. They played 2 tough ball games and 2 games last week to warm them out. Yep. So I know.
Well, Bob, again, good luck to you as well. Best wishes, great year. Let's see what happens in a few minutes.
All right, thank you.
Bob Hambrick, the coach of the Evanston, or I should say the Simeon Wolverines, who will oppose the Evanston Wildcats momentarily. Now to the bench, and Frank Bassoni.
Thank you very much, Art, and it will be indeed an exciting and classic championship game as the AA tournament will conclude, and Ron Nikovich, I don't know, let's flip a coin.
Yeah, it's really that kind of a situation. An undefeated team against a team that has suffered only 1 loss, 2 great talents, a balanced team, another team that features the super talents of Everett Stevens.
Well, we're all set now to begin the festivities for the championship game. Here is Tom Trent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the coaches and players involved in our championship game. First, for the Wolverines of Simeon High School from Chicago, with a record of 29 wins, only 1 loss, the head coach of the Wolverines, Bob Hambrick. Number 10, Thomas Price. Number 12, Edgar Chapman. Number 20, Terry Sampson. Number 30, Ronnie Doss. Number 40, Daniel Patton. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Simeon Wolverines. At a forward, a senior, 6'5", number 24, Kenny Allen.
Allen, a role player and defense is the name of his game.
At forward, a senior, 6'7", number 52, Rodney Hull.
Hull, a 63% field goal shooter.
At center for the Wolverines, a junior, 6'7", number 25, Ben Wilson.
If you haven't seen him, you're in for a treat, 20 a game.
At a guard for Simeon, a senior, 6'4", number 22, Tim Bankston.
Bankston, the quality guard, can score and play make.
And at guard, a senior, 6'4", number 14, Bobby Tribble.
Coming off a big game in the semifinals, the Simeon Wolverines of the Chicago Cook County Public League, the champions of that league.
Now let's meet the Wildcats of Evanston High School with a perfect record, 32 wins and no losses. The head coach of the Wildcats, Herb Williams. Number 10, Jim Finucane. Number 11, Mike Cobb. Number 32, Eric Dortch. Number 40, Brian Brown. Number 42, Kevin Ackles. Number 43, Steve Wool. Number 50, Francois Jean-Paul. And now the starting lineup for the Evanston Wildcats. At forward, a senior, 6'2", number 44, Lewis Wool.
Hard-nosed competitor, 12 points and 8 rebounds a game.
At forward, a senior, 6'4", number 35, Tony Mason.
Herb Williams says he's the glue for this team, averaging 10.5.
At center for the Wildcats, a senior, 6'9", number 45, Steve Kling.
The tallest player in Evanston's history, can be a force inside.
At a guard for Evanston, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 33, Derek Brown.
He's the point guard, runs the offense.
And at guard, a senior, 6'2", number 22, Everett Stevens.
One of this state's premier basketball players. Stevens will attend the University of Purdue. The officials for the game: Harry Bone of Clarendon Hills, Matt Lorich of Aurora. Back with the tip-off in a moment. One of your network sponsors, John Deere. Evanston's Wildcats coming onto the court against Chicago Simeon. It all started in 1908 when Peoria High School beat Rock Island in the first state championship. The first one here in the Flying Saucer at the Assembly Hall, 1963. And it's showtime again in the white. Evanston trimmed in orange and blue. The royal blue Simeon's Wolverines. Coach, what do you think?
Well, it's difficult to pick a winner in this situation, except to say that Simeon has a great balanced team. Evanston, of course, featuring the super talents of Everett Stevens, a great supporting cast to go along with it. It's probably going to be like we've seen throughout the course of the tournament. This is our 8th and final game. The spectacle is on, and we'll probably go right down to the wire as the other ones have.
Bankston starts with the ball for Simeon, and the pass is picked off by the Wildcats. Pushing the ball up the floor. Evanston, Wool on the move. Tap, looked like Tony Mason got a hand on it, and it will go to Simeon. All right, Simeon's 25. There is Benjamin Wilson, and it's full court pressure here by Evanston. It's a trap in the back. Tribble. Both of the guards are 6'4" for Simeon here in blue. Benjamin Wilson comes out, slides in and scores.
That fluid move for a 6'7" player. He really has a lot of talent.
Now trapped in the front court. Everett Stevens wearing 22. Mason with a high, long shot, not good enough. Foul is on Mason on the rebound. Tony Mason picks up the personal. There's something about this Simeon team that strikes you about their confidence. They talk about, and the next great game we play will be coming up.
Yes. They're a team of great poise. They're an emotionless team as well, I might add.
Evanston, on the other hand, has had the survival instincts of a cornered cobra. They just do what they have to do to win, like that rebound by Wool. And Mason gets it off to Brown. Brown goes coast to coast. is rejected by Wilson, and he kept it. Tribble. Bankston to the goal.
Great break.
Simeon draws the first blood at 4-0. Stevens and Brown in the backcourt. That's Kling. Zone defense by Simeon. Been their staple in the tournament.
Throughout the tournament.
Everett Stevens on the wing. Mason in the low right corner. It's Derek Brown. Brown, fluid player, rolls with the ball to the top of the key. Stevens first shot. Yes.
He's warming up early.
4-2 Simeon. The Public League champs handle the ball. Rodney Hall to Allen. They interchange the offense, and Wilson comes outside to get it. Tribble sweeps it inside to Bankston with a big post-up move.
Great spin move. What's amazing about that is that he didn't travel.
4 points for Bankston. He's an awfully large guard. Wool is free for a moment, and Wilson covers him. Kling gets it inside to Mason. Turns, shoots, rejected by Hull. Stevens takes it back into the glass. Mason rebounds and scores.
Great effort on Mason's part. Hull must be leading the tournament in block shots. We don't have a stat on that, I don't believe, but I'm sure he leads the tournament block shots.
2-point Simeon lead. First quarter, championship game. Frank Missoni along with Art Kimball and Coach Ron Nikovich. Turnaround one-hander, Hall is short. Stevens rebounds onto the running Brown. Now Brown waits for the rest of the Wildcats. Something special career for Coach Herb Williams. His father, Reverend Williams, passed away in February. He'd like to dedicate this season and this game to him. The zone defense in effect. 2-3, 2-1-2 perhaps for Simeon. Kling comes way out to help out on that ball. Brown is free. Wilson kicks it out. Tribble on the fly. Pull up. Wilson in the paint. Evanston on the run. Brown goes to the corner and holds up. He finds Stevens, steps in, finger roll.
Great move.
The game is tied at 6. The 4:15 mark in the opening period. Watch Ben Wilson between the legs. Tribble, the same thing. Tribble guarded by Brown. Inside post up Wilson. Bankston picks it. Look at him swirl. Tipped it up. He's still got it.
Now that's what you call activity on a part of one player.
6 out of the 8 by Bankston, and Simeon takes the lead back by 2. Here's the bad pass and a steal by the Wolverines. The blue machine goes to Hull for a driving layup, and he is fouled by Mason. Second foul on Mason in the early going.
Bankston making the penetration spin move going up the lane. Rebounds his missed shot, rebounds it again, stays alive, great activity, finally gets it to drop.
This is Rodney Hall at 6'7" and 200. And the Assembly Hall is alive.
Probably 2 of the cooler, more poised ball clubs we've had in a title game in a long, long time.
The amazing thing about it is that one of them is undefeated and has not shown any of that kind of pressure about their play whatsoever.
Oh, missed them both. Bankston fakes, shoots. He's got it. The Wildcats on the fly. Everett Stevens, open court. On the other end, Bankston's ahead of the pack. He may dunk it.
That was rather predictable, I think.
The electricity of the championship game is real. 3:15, 10-6 Simeon. Brown comes to the left. Wool goes along the left baseline. Mason the right baseline. Kling's inside. He is blocked and fouled by Wilson with the body.
Kling has been an early force in the ball game. While he's not rebounded, he's been aggressive on the inside, as we'll see here on this play. His play has been aggressive. He's a 6'9" player. He needs to be in this ball game for Evanston.
Steve Kling will attend either Cornell or Brown. Which yes, he is an A student.
Which means he's a very good student.
He made it. He shoots free throws at 47%. He'll have another here and could get Evanston within 2. And does. Full court pressure, the Wildcats. 2-2-1. Under 3 minutes, first quarter. Look how cool Bankston is coming up against Stevens. What a matchup that is. Bankston beat him to the baseline but turned it over. We have a whistle. There's a timeout on the court. The championship game is 2 points in favor of Simeon. One of your network sponsors, DeKalb, Pfizer Genetics. The press team selected by the media. The UPI team selected by the coaches agree. These 5, Everett, Stevens, Evanston, Kenny Battle, Aurora West, Benjamin Wilson here of Simeon, Chris Funchess of St. Joseph, and Bruce Baker of Benton. The first 5 all-tournament team. As we go along, we'll give you more. 5 very deserving young men.
Can't argue with that at all.
10-8, Simeon. Evanston with the basketball. Lewis Wool in the corner. Double team. Wants help and finds it. It's Brown who saved it. Kling turns. Mason. Look at the defense here of Simeon. It just make it tough on the inside with that zone.
Great
Here
pass.
comes Wool. Great. Tipped in by Stevens.
I don't know who'll get credit for that exactly.
I'm not sure who the official scorer will give credit for the goal. We'll try to find out. Stevens.
He's got the tip.
Half a dozen for Stevens. The game is tied at 10. One of the great tournaments in recent years, and Ben Wilson puts it up. Stevens rebounds. Stevens through 2 people, all the way. Between the legs pass.
What a pass.
A little French pastry. And Derek Brown has it outside. These teams are pumped up.
They sure are.
Derek Brown outside. Look at that zone. Shift with the ball. Evanston being patient. 1:33 first quarter. Skip pass over the zone to Brown. Stevens wants it. Turns and shoots. Good!
Great shot. Just a great shot. He's warming up very early, Frank.
He's got 8. And Evanston has the lead. That's Allen looking inside for the big man. And a foul is on Kling against Rodney Hall.
Can't play defense on somebody's back. That's poor position, particularly when the pass is going inside that way. Evanston will zone on the baseline out of bounds play and probably will remain in the zone for this possession.
The official scorers changed his mind on the basket on the tip-in a little while ago. He gave it to Wool now, not Stevens. Nevertheless, it leaves the score the same with 1 minute to go in the first period. Shot outside, dribble. Evanston goes to get it.
This is what Kling has got to do. He's got to stay in a ball game as well.
Oh, great play by Bankston. He stripped Brown. Bankston was fouled on the way in. Bankston is so strong, Coach.
He really is. You know, and we've talked all tournament long about the unheralded players, and here's an unheralded one who does so many things, defensively, offensively, and running this offense as well for the Simeon Wolverines. Great move to the basket, fell a little bit short. The foul was on the floor before the shot.
All right, a high lob between the rings to Tribble. Now they've had another discussion. You're not going to believe this. They gave the basket now back to Stevens. We're going to stop talking about it. Inside Wilson, turnaround, rolls off, Hall rebounds, and missed the point-blank layup, but it went off Mason.
You know, I'd have to credit that miss to Steve Kling, who's really become aggressive under the basket. He has to be at 6'9" to try to negate the size advantage Simeon has.
Bob Hambrick looking on his Wolverines with the ball. The blue machine go to Hull inside. A riser from 10. Banging, no good. Look at Mason go get that ball. He has it batted out of his hands. It's ferocious out here. And a foul on Kling of Evanston.
Tremendous amount of talent out on this court. There is a lot of activity here on this one. But we see Simeon, 6 hands available, get control of the ball momentarily.
Could be a key factor here. That puts Simeon on the bonus still in the first period.
Free throw is missed by Ben Wilson. And Kling pulls it off the board, and a foul. Still another foul in this beautiful collision here in the first quarter with Evanston leading by 2. This foul is on Timothy Bankston.
Steve Kling has really come to play.
This is by far the best intensity he's shown in the tournament.
He's been foul prone up until this time, but he's doing a great job.
Well, you're right, Ron. He's going to have a big ball game if Evanston's going to win it. There's too much size on Simeon for your 6'9" guy not to respond.
And Simeon's only got 2 fouls here in the early going. 5 already on Evanston. Everett Stevens barges in, but he charged, and the position was Hull.
Just great position on a part of Hull, who up until this time has distinguished himself as the shot blocker of the tournament, but he can play defense as well.
All right, here we go. Simeon with the basketball at the gun, and it bangs off the top as the clock comes down to close out the first quarter of play at the Assembly Hall in the title game. Evanston leads by 2. One of your network sponsors, John Deere.
Here comes the questionable shot that took place earlier. Who gets credit for it, Stevens or Wool? It looked like Stevens might have nudged it, but if he did, it would not count because that ball was in the cylinder at the time, and evidently he didn't nudge it, so the basket's got to be credited to Wool.
Here's the team stats first quarter. Evanston 5 of 13, 38%. Simeon 5 of 17, 29%. Might say good defense. Evanston 2 for 2 at the foul line, 11-11 on the boards. 4-2 Evanston with 2 more turnovers.
That Simeon shot percentage is bound to improve by a considerable margin.
They just went up and swatted the ball to Tim Bankston in the back. They shoot as a team extremely well. We don't have official statistics for them for a whole year. They didn't have them, but it's over 50. Inside Hull for a turnaround one-hander that goes down to tie the game. Now the trap in the back by the Wolverines. Here comes Everett Stevens. He blows by everybody and dunked it.
Traveled early on. Questionable call, to be honest about it. We'll look at the replay. And it was a correct call.
Indeed it was.
Everett Stevens is 6'2", going on 6'11". 7:30 to play in the first half. Electrifying ability. To the goal. Inside, Bankston matches it. And somebody's hurt. It's Kling. Looks like might be his right knee. Kling was hit when bodies collided under there. And that's Evanston 6'9" center now on the court, and let's hope he's going to be all right. Herb Williams is out there. All right, we'll take a timeout and come right back. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Good news, Steve Kling walked off the court on his own power, and there you see him now. He's just walking down off of the Assembly Hall floor. And he's up and walking right behind us now, so it looks like Steve Kling's going to be all right. And number 50, Francois Jean Paul, number 50, 6'5.5", 210 junior, comes in. Jean Paul didn't play as a sophomore. He was out with a back injury, but he contributed mightily today, earlier to Evanston. All right, ball tipped out of bounds by Ben Wilson, and Evanston has it. Simeon's up by 2. And we're in the second quarter. Frank Bissoni and Art Kimball, along with Coach Ron Nikovich of Lyons Township of LaGrange, hoping you're enjoying this exciting action. Wolves in the right corner for the Wildcats. It's Mason out at the point now. Brown's fakes.
Nice fake.
Everett Stevens rattled out. Good rebound. Gene Paul stolen. Here comes Tribble. Tribble all the way. Scoop shot blocked by Gene Paul. Count it. Goaltending.
On the break, shot going up in the air, and here comes the block on the board, and it's an obvious goaltend.
So it's a 4-point Simeon lead, and now the Wildcats will try to answer. That size of Simeon, so telling on most of the teams they've played all year long. Mason rises and knocks it in.
Great shot, a tough shot. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the board battle now with Kling out of the ball game. We don't know when he's going to return. It's apparent that he twisted his right ankle.
Remember, he's 6'9". Inside it goes to Tribble on the post-up. Turnaround, no good. Battling for the ball is Wool, but off his hands to Simeon. Tough break for Evanston there. Benjamin Wilson just drops it into Allen, who missed, who rebounds, and is fouled by Gene Paul.
We'll see the lob pass going inside. Gene Paul really got a good piece of him coming up now.
And there's the call. Kenneth Allen will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot a pair. Gene Paul got the foul. Allen, a 69% free throw shooter. Listen to the crowd.
Silencer.
The first point of the game by Allen. Now, Allen is not in here because of his scoring. He's a role player. He plays defense. He does a lot of little things. Missed that one. Wool pulls it down. 17-14 Simeon. Everett Stevens on the motor. Bounce pass wild, intended for Tony Mason. And so Evanston turns it over. And turning it over too many times around Simeon is like bleeding near a shark.
Yeah, you can't afford to do that. This team is too talented to be giving them the extra opportunities.
Ben Wilson, look how far out on the court he can play for 6'7".
Does so many things well.
Look at the post-up dribble against the little guy Brown, and Brown had to hold him and foul him. Brown's only 6 feet, maybe. Oh, wait a minute.
Caldwell in trouble, pushing off.
Got to go in the other way, and there's Robert Hambrick. He says, think. 5:56 to play in the first half. Third team foul against Simeon. Only the third. This is Stevens in the backcourt. He's had this assembly hall buzzing. Brown gets it to him. Stevens finds Wool along the baseline, who is fouled. Nice pass by
Great
Stevens.
pass.
He saw the court.
You can really see the court. They work very well together. We'll see Stevens looking for a pull down under. Pass goes there. Little pump fake up in the air it goes, but he got clobbered.
Lewis Wool, a superb 83% foul shooter.
Very confident shooter.
He also averages 7.6 rebounds a game. That may not sound like a lot, but that's a big number.
And it seems to me like they're all key rebounds, too. At least it's been that way throughout the tournament.
The team fouls show Evanston with 7 and Simeon with 4. And remember, Steve Kling, the 6'9" center for Evanston, went out with an injury, and he has not returned yet. He's also not on the bench. Might be with the train. Wool missed that one, but Stevens has got it in the middle track. Fake, shoot.
Fake.
And Hall intimidated. Bankston in a hurry. Comes all the way, swirls into the lane. Good!
And the finger roll.
He's got 12 points in this game. Stevens on the other end. One of the Simeon players went over the table. Tribble is going to lose the handle.
Slipped out of his hand. Just slipped out of his hand.
The pace is ferocious. Zone. And there's play 2 called by Derek Brown. Stevens on a right wing. Gene Paul posted high, Wool low. Mason, right-hander, not good. Nice rebound by Wool. That's one of those clutch ones, and he got it in.
Key rebound again. He averages 7 rebounds a game, and it must be all key rebounds.
And And the foul goes against Simeon. It's on Benjamin Wilson.
We'll see the shot being taken here, and we already see Wool moving in position to get that rebound. He's what you call an opportunistic player.
Second foul on Ben Wilson, as you see the graphic there. And now we're going to get a substitute in the game for Simeon. It's number 20, Terry Sampson, a 6'6" junior. Going out is Ben Wilson. One of their short guys comes in, 6'6". Wool with 3 in the game. 6'2", 170. Concentration pays off. 3-point play. Evanston has come within 1. 4 for Wool. Bankston comes up the court yelling out, "Let's go." Go they can. Lob inside, Tribble. Right-hander. Rebound on the floor. Evanston. Brown on the scoop. He's in trouble in the back. He just beat 1 man. Now 2. And Stevens slips the ball between his legs, and Evanston shoots for the lead. Wool looks inside. Gene Paul posts up. But it's tall timber in there.
It sure is. Post play there is very...
Look at Stevens.
Ooh. Stevens is there. That post play is really ferocious, too, between Hull and Gene Paul.
He's got 10. Oh, is he tough.
What a player.
Lob play inside. Hull steps in, puts it up, and rolls it in. Rodney Hull got it down. He's got 4, 21-20. Simeon takes the lead back at 3:50 in the first half. Wool's going to go all the way. Challenge into the score.
Can't count.
No goal. Charging.
We'll see on the penetration by Lewis Wool. Great position here. There's only one thing that's going to happen. It's an offensive collision all the way. The basket can't count. We're going the other way.
Just a reminder, next weekend, of course, the girls, next Saturday afternoon, a week from today, 3 o'clock, the Class A State Championship girls game. AA State title game at 8 o'clock, a week from tonight.
Bankston's outside with Tribble. Tribble's going to pop one up, and he got it short. Wool rebounds again for Evanston, and now the Wildcats got another chance to take the lead if they can score.
He's going to exceed his rebound average shortly, probably within this half.
Here's Kling coming back out of the runway.
Oh, Bankston anticipated the pass and didn't quite save it.
Seems like he's walking very normally.
Steve Kling doesn't appear to be limping at all, and he may be back in here shortly. Now he's jogging over to the Evanston bench. There's the crowd response from the Evanston fans.
All right. There's Kling there coming back onto the court, and he just said, you could read his lips, "I'm all right." And that's good news, no matter who you're for. 3:13 to play, first half. In white, Evanston with the ball, 1 down. Look how spread out they are on their offense.
Yeah, they can afford to do that because of their extraordinary wingspan.
There's a bad pass. It's going to cost them an over and back.
And that wingspan is the thing that forced that kind of pass because their skip passes got too much of a lob involvement.
Now there's timeout on the court. We've got a 1-point game with 3 minutes to go in the first half, and one of your network sponsors is DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. When it comes to prep basketball, Ron Nikovich, it doesn't get any better than this.
Can't be any better than this, and I think this is a great example of why year in and year out Illinois high school basketball shines at the top of its class nationwide, in my opinion.
Since the AA championship began in '72, 3 teams have won with perfect records. Evanston tries to become the 4th. Simeon has the lead in the ball. That's Tribble outside. They have great guards. Here's Hall swinging across the lane for a one-hander. The battle is on for the ball, and Stevens has it. Here he comes. Everett Stevens. Oh, and Hall tapped it away from him.
He really accelerated it. About the time he reached the free throw line extended. We'll see that right now he's going about 80, and the turbo will kick in at this point, and up he goes.
Yeah, he really can scoop. Good like that.
What athletic ability.
Oh, he's a great player. Great skills. He's an athlete and a player.
You talk about acceleration, Frank. I don't think I've ever seen a kid from a dead stop accelerate like he does.
He can go up and down the court faster than your average motorcycle.
And stay on track, too.
Stevens has string music.
Yeah, I really don't know what turbo means, but I think he's got one.
Kling is in, and Gene Paul goes out. So Steve Kling comes back from that injury he suffered, and there's Gene Paul, who gave him a lift off the bench. He's a big one, too, at 6'5", 210. Kling goes 6'9", 210.
Gene Paul did a good job while he was in there, too.
He's not intimidated.
A great job for him this afternoon as well. It's had a good tournament.
A dozen now for Stevens, and Evanston's got the lead back. But don't blink, it might change.
Another ho-hum title game, fellas.
What fun this is. Bankston posts up, down low, banks it in.
He's really taken advantage of the size advantage that he has as he posts up down low, and he's got that great spin move. Of course, he's probably a natural high school forward who's playing in the out court, and when he gets inside, he knows what he's doing.
I was going to say the same thing. He probably plays center for some high school.
Sure.
2:15 to play, first half. Evanston with the ball. Simeon by 1, 23-22. This is Derek Brown. Mason on the right. They're looking for Kling inside now. Don't see him. Stevens comes over to the left side. Mason beat his man to the baseline and put it up. Rebound Town. Hall and Simeon. They push the ball up the court and then slow up the tempo. They rotate inside. Down low. Up and missed the shot is Rodney Doss, who came into the game, 30. And Brown hustles up for the Wildcats. Brown slices between a couple of people and goes way out on the court. A minute and a half in the half. Inside Wool. Missed it.
What a rebound.
Look at this on the other end. Here comes Bankston. Say goodbye.
He got it again.
That's a technical foul for grabbing the rim. Count the basket.
It's got to count. We'll see in a replay. You know, he's really not that explosive a leaper. He probably just should have finger rolled it in, but he had to do something to retain his momentum from crashing to the ground, and got the tech.
Now I think we have Lewis Wool with an injury of some sort. He's walking over. He's going to walk it off. This is Lewis Wool here in front of us. Looks like he might have a groin injury or something. He's bending over and talking to, looks like somebody, a trainer. Meanwhile, the basket by Bankston counts. Wool is the guy that Evanston wants to shoot the free throws in some situations. They go to Stevens here. He made it.
Wool is all right. He just is momentarily shaken. One thing he doesn't want to do is leave this ball game, not this ball game.
This game is rather typical for both ball clubs, airtight all the way. I'm a little surprised with the tempo, though, Ron. They're really motoring up and down the floor.
Yeah, there have been some breakaway situations that materialized, I think, just as a result of what's going on in rebounding.
Mason in the corner. There's the ball sliced away by those quick Simeon hands. 1:09 to play, first half. Brown baseline left. He's in trouble. Now he gets free and comes way out to Stevens. 1 minute. Stevens goes between two people, rises and scores!
Stevens did what you have to do against a defense that spreads out like that, and that's the challenge. Yet make it commit. If it doesn't commit, pull up and shoot that J, as he did so well that time.
15 for Everett the Great. Dribbles outside. Now the shot is missed by Terry Sampson and out of bounds to Simeon.
You know, that's the kind of shot that is, in fact, two of the recent missed shots by Simeon were automatics by Ben Wilson, who's been on the bench now for a long period of time.
A flat tie at 25. Remember, Wilson went out with several minutes ago, and Simeon's playing more reserves than they had earlier in the tournament. Maybe it's a rest factor. Hull pulls up and shoots. Yes. Rodney Hull shows a little range, and it's a 2-point Simeon lead with a half a minute. Will Evanston try for one? Stevens on the hunt, pulls up and fires.
Off-balance shot.
Wool rebounds, scores. No goal traveling.
Well, that kid Wool is always around where there's activity, and for a kid his size, he rebounds about as well offensively as anybody you'll see for a player his size.
6'2" jumping jack, very, very strong.
The clock in the right-hand corner working its way down. 10 seconds. Simeon by 2 with the ball. They want one shot, of course. dribble, turns, 5, 4, 3.
Gonna go back to
Here it
Banks.
comes. Shot is up. No good by Terry Sampson at the horn. And that's the end of the thrilling first half of play in the state championship game. And Simeon goes to the locker room. 27 with Evanston at 25. Back in a moment. One of your network sponsors is John Deere. You see your halftime score on the championship game, and now we get to meet some other champions, the 3rd and 4th place winners. And with that, Tom Trent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the 3rd and 4th place team and individual awards for the 1984 Boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. Making the presentations will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors and administrative staff. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the 4th place team will be Mr. Charles Smith of Homewood Flossmoor High School in Flossmoor, who serves the IHSA as vice president of the board, and Dr. David Turner of Porta High School in Petersburg, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, please meet the Chargers of Westchester St. Joseph High School, who finished the 1984 season in 4th place with a final record of 25 wins and 8 losses. Meet the principal of St. Joseph High School, Brother Kevin Griffin. The head coach of the Chargers, Gene Pingator. Assistant coach, Dennis Doyle. Assistant coach, John Ryan. Manager, Mark Sassetti. Manager, Jeff Novotny. Number 10, Tony Freeman. Number 12, Robert Early. Number 13, Joe Lentz. Number 15, Billy Stanback. Number 20, Ken Kusera. Number 22, Chris Buchanan. Number 23, Chris Maple. Number 25, Tony Brown. Number 31, Scott Gibler. Number 32, Chris Funchess.
There's one of the all-tournament selections.
Number 34, Sean Rooney. Number 35, Marcus Terry. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the 3rd place team will be Mr. Raymond Collier of Aurora East High School in Aurora, who serves the IHSA as treasurer, and Mr. Gail Borton of Frankfurt High School in West Frankfurt, who serves the IHSA as secretary of the board. At this time, please meet the Blackhawks of Aurora West High School, who finished the 1984 season in 3rd place with a final record of 31 wins, only 2 losses. The principal of Aurora West High School, Tom Madden. The head coach of the Blackhawks, Gordon Kirkman. Assistant coach, Curtis Shaw. Assistant coach, Rick Thompson. Assistant coach, Rick Albright. Manager, Frank Majorato. Number 11, Jeff Howell. Number 13, Pat Sanders. Number 21, Kenny Page. Number 23, Kendrick Cross. Number 25, David Lee. Number 31, Scott Younger. Number 33, Kenny Battle.
Another first team all-tournament player.
Number 35, Terry Postlewaite. Number 41, Tom Peters. Number 45, Randy Norman. Number 51, Dan Jensen. Number 55, Rodney McCrimmon. Presenting the fourth place trophy will be Dr. Nicholas Manis of Niles West High School in Skokie, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. Will Coach Gene Pingatore and the captains of the St. Joseph Chargers please step forward and receive your fourth place trophy. Congratulations. Presenting the third place trophy will be Mr. John Dowling of Watseka High School, who serves the IHSA as president of the board. Will head coach Gordon Kirkman and the captains of the Aurora West Blackhawks step forward and get your third place trophy. And there you have our third and fourth place winners.
And that's what this is all about. We're at halftime where Simeon leads Evanston by 2. Back in a moment. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. There you see the AP and UPI agreeing on the 5 players in the all-tournament team, Coach Nikovich, and we said before there's no argument there.
No, it's a fine choice. Certainly these are the top 5 players in the tournament. The second 5, of course, a very good choice. And I'd like to add an honorable mention if I can. I think that Pepan did a great job.
Indeed.
Would you like to know who else made the squads? Second team, so to speak, all right?
Put it out there, Art.
Okay. AP's second all-tournament team, Tony Freeman of Westchester St. Joseph, Roger McClendon of Champaign Centennial, Lamont Robinson of Thornton, Randy Norman of Aurora West, and Bobby Tribble of Chicago Simeon. Second team UPI, Tony Freeman of Westchester St. Joseph, McClendon, Rodney Hall of Simeon, Eric Lundgren of Rock Island, Lamont Robinson of Thornton.
That's a good. I'd love to start a college team with all those players, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's interesting. The coaches, of course, select for UPI, their coaches board down here at the state tournament, and the writers and overall broadcast media as well for Associated Press.
Okay.
Little talent here.
It's time to talk about the championship game as Simeon leads Evanston by 2 points here. Coach Ron Nikovich, let's talk about the individual scoring first in that first half as Bankston really was a wonderful player, a guard, 16 points, Tribble with 2, Wilson with 2, and that's a key factor. He'll come back strong. Hall with 6 and Allen with 1, but Bankston leads Simeon with their 27. Going over to Evanston, look at Everett Stevens, 15. Brown didn't score. Kling, the center, got 2. Mason with 4, and Wool, the all-purpose man, with 4 points. But Stevens and Bankston leading the way in the scoring at the halftime. Now, strategy-wise, let's take a look at that. And the statistics show that field goal shooting is dead even. 9 of 23 Evanston. Simeon, 13 of 33. The field goals, free throws, 1 for 5 Simeon, unusual. 7 for 8 Evanston. Rebounds, almost a standoff. 2 more for Evanston, but the turnovers a big difference here. 11 to 3. Evanston has lots of turnovers, and that's a factor in the game, and Simeon's defense is that.
Yeah, the defense has forced those, especially the defense in the half court rather than defense in the back court, which has been token at best and rather seldom for the most part. The thing that's surprising through the course of the first half, in my opinion, is the inactivity of Ben Wilson. He'll be back in the second half. Bankston has carried him throughout the first half. Just as soon as Ben Wilson gets untracked, why Evanston will really have its hands full. And Everett Stevens, of course, throughout the course of the first half has shown everybody why he's just a consensus all-everything player.
Ron, let me ask you this about the Evanston defense. We've talked so much about Simeon's great zone today, but the fact remains that Evanston has done a very strong defensive job in the first half of this ball game. What's your reaction to their performance?
I thought that they played very well defensively. Yeah, you're right on that. And I was looking to perhaps at the outset of the ball game the possibility of some zone on the part of Evanston, but they've stayed strong with their man-to-man. And I think early on, one big reason for the success of the man-to-man has been the performance of Steve Kling. It doesn't show up much statistically speaking, but he's done a lot to negate the physical presence of so many Simeon players.
We really have no one in foul trouble, I'm happy to report, in a state championship battle. Nobody right on the ragged edge of fouling out of this thing.
And one other good thing to report is that a couple of players that sustained injuries are fine now, and they'll all be ready to play in the second half. We'll be back with the tip-off of the second half of the title game. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. Wherever you're watching across the state, welcome at KHQA in Quincy, WCE Mount Vernon, WHBF Rock Island, WICD Champaign, WICS Springfield, WQRF Rockford, WRAU Peoria, WSIL Harrisburg, WGN Chicago. All of you, welcome. And we had to pass along the reminder that many of the Chicago White Sox, including Tim Hewlett, who actually was down here in a tournament, are watching the game tonight in Sarasota, Florida at their spring training camp. They're watching on Channel 9 in Chicago, in Florida, and that's, of course, pumping it all over the United States and out of the country. And we've even had mail from people watching the tournament last week in Puerto Rico. So welcome, everyone.
Well, that's really great. And I'd like to put in my plug. I'm a Cub fan. I hope they're doing well, too.
Tim Hewlett, an old Lanphier Lion. His alma mater won it last year.
Of course, that's what Art refers about as the year ago, the championship match. The Lions of Peoria Central and Lanphier came away winning that trophy 57-53. And we'll have one that close again. Evanston in the white, Simeon in the blue starts with the ball. Evanston starts man-to-man. Benjamin Wilson turns and shoots. Short, he's got it. Here he comes again. And again. That doesn't count. We got a foul on Wilson.
He went over the top.
Third foul on Wilson. And one of the reasons he sat out was to keep him out of foul trouble, and he gets a quick one.
Yeah, he got a quick one, and he needed to get himself on track that time. He was trying, he was very anxious to get himself on track, trying to get one to drop and get himself going in the ball game early on, but he got himself into foul trouble early on.
Stevens had a game like that earlier today, then he came on. There he is, again, trying that shot. No, but Hall rebounds. Look at the break by Simeon. Tribble. Pinned to the board by Stevens. Looks like a foul was called on Everett.
On Stevens. The ball was pinned to the board, which is legal. You know, the thing about Simeon is the manner in which they can really get down the court. They're so fluid in what they do. Rather than the pin, I think he got a combination of a wrist, ball, glass. A little bit of everything on that one.
Bobby Tribble goes to the free throw lines. Again, you saw Stevens' great leaping ability. Tribble missed. No one scored yet in the second half.
Off camera, away from the ball, Stevens having an interesting conversation with Rodney Hull. Over what about?
Both smiling. Free throws are both missed. Here's Bankston on a steal and a foul on Bankston.
Right.
Boy, is he aggressive.
He tried to clear himself out. I should say, we'll see him try to clear a path for himself on that. There's the strip. Now he's trying to clear a path for himself and got called.
All right, now Evanston comes up against this half-court trap. Stevens looked right, went left. Mason's at the point. Now he turns and shoots. Off the board, he missed. He got his own rebound. It's loose. Picked up by Bankston. Who else? Tricky dribble, front court. Bankston again. By Stevens. Foul on Kling, I think.
No, I think it was on Stevens. We'll see. Here comes the penetration.
Fouls on Stevens.
Up he goes. Fouls on Stevens. Yeah, clear foul.
That's the third foul on Everett Stevens, and that's a factor too.
Certainly is a factor. He cannot afford to be out of this ballgame.
All right, 7:01. Stevens gets his third. Wilson already had his third for Simeon. Now it's Timothy Bankston, 73% foul shooter. And Simeon's gone cold at the free throw line.
So is the scoreboard.
16 in the game for Bankston. There's the first point of the second half. And for Evanston, 11, Mike Cobb, a 6'1.5" junior, is in. Derek Brown is out. Cobb is a quick player, and he'll play guard. He comes to the right, gets the ball to Tony Mason. The foul line. Everett Stevens, shuffle, move, and shoot. It rattled off. Tough break for Stevens. He had it down there.
Tough shot.
And now Simeon runs their offense with a 3-point lead. Bankston, look at him slip the ball between his legs, spin, shoot. Rebound, Bankston. He is hammered by Stevens. I think it's 4 fouls on Stevens.
If it's Stevens, it's 4. See Bankston doing a little dipsy-do here. He got Stevens up in the air on that fake, and Stevens, of course, with the consequent 4th foul.
Boy, how the complexion of the game can change. Right at the end of the half, I was mentioning nobody was in foul trouble. Suddenly, Stevens has 4 and has to leave.
Evanston gets Tony Mason the ball along the baseline. Wool rebounds.
Wilson still can't get himself untracked.
Derek Brown is in for Stevens. Backcourt trouble. Now the question is, can Evanston hold off Simeon without Everett Stevens? Cobb in trouble. Gets it to Wool. Wool pulls it up along the baseline. Oh, Tony Mason, a nice rebound and fade. It won't bounce in. Look at Wool. He's there for 2, and it counts.
And a potential 3-point play. Talk about Johnny on the spot. He's a classic.
And that's the 4th foul on Benjamin Wilson.
And we'll see Mr. Wool rebounding offensively as he's done all tournament, and the potential 3-point play coming up.
Well, 2 of the game's superstars, both in desperate foul trouble. 1 for Evanston, 1 for Simeon.
Wilson will have to come out again, and he shakes his head as 30 Ronnie Doss comes on. So Everett Stevens and Benjamin Wilson both sit down with 4 fouls, and we're very early, 6:02 in the 3rd quarter. Lewis Wool. Missed it. 1 point Simeon lead. This Bankston is something special. He hurries into the front against Cobb. They lob on the low post to Tribble on the post up. It rolls off, but look at Hull. He missed.
Hull missed the crip shot.
Out of bounds to the Wolverines.
Simeon has missed several of that kind from that kind of range, which has been fortunate for Evanston.
Here's the ball in. Doss, 30. Tribble. This is now an Evanston, a near steal by Cobb in the backcourt, and they call over and back. And Evanston gets the ball on the turnover.
Ron, I wonder if both clubs get a little bit conservative here. The game is not quite as intense as it was in the first half.
Yeah, both teams are having difficulty getting untracked, and here we have the over and back call.
Okay, back to live action. Simeon, a 1-point lead, but Evanston could take the lead if they could get a hoop.
I think what we're looking at now is a game that's going to really go into that 4th quarter and get into that final 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Both teams are very conservative at this point.
Playing down to Wool on the low box. Back outside.
With Stevens on the bench and Wilson on the bench, we can see why.
Here's the shot out of the corner. It's not good. Look at Cobb go up and get it. He steps in and scores.
Oh, this is a super rebound.
6-1 Mike Cobb in the heavy traffic, and Evanston reclaims the lead. Down comes Bankston. He goes all the way through the lane, and he's fouled by Derek Brown. And fouls are beginning to be a factor in this game. of course, the two key men with Stevens and Wilson out with 4 fouls. That changes the basketball game.
Yeah, it certainly does. And Bankston has been going solo great many times down the court. I think Evanston is going to have to change up their defense just a little bit, the key to help on that kind of a thing.
We've been asked to
Not
announce,
drastic, but to some extent.
We've been asked to announce that Simeon, well, here's a dribble shot right there. Simeon will arrive at the school gym at 1 p.m. on Sunday for a welcome home celebration. That's Simeon. And they have a lead. Now Derek Brown slices up, goes along the baseline to Wool, clears himself, is blocked by Hall. Hall got away with one there, I think.
Yeah, I think he did too. Another block for him, however.
Boy, but is he a blanket? He rejects a jillion shots.
Great timing.
The wingspan of a 747 across that lane there, and he just throws everything back. Mason clears himself to Cobb. Here's a steal. Simeon's got the ball. The running blue machine. Dribble. Rebound. Jump ball. That will not count. That will not count. Bankston just ripped it away and scored, but it won't count.
No, that won't count. It's a jump ball situation. We'll see on the break what will happen on that kind of deal. You know, as I said before, Evanston's been fortunate on many missed shots down under that Simeon has missed, although Evanston player got a piece of the ball there. We'll see the jump ball situation right here.
It's Tony Mason, 35, Bankston, 22, and Simeon loses it to the running Derek Brown. He goes all the way.
He really accelerated.
Oh,
It's got to count.
That's a goal 10. Give the goal to Derek Brown and give the lead to Evanston.
Now I think I know what a turbo is right there.
These players can get 94 feet in the wink of an eye. Bankston against Brown, and the size-wise, that's a mismatch because Bankston's so big and strong. Look at him take him inside and shoot over him.
He's really going solo. I don't know how long that's going to help him.
He just got another one down. Bankston has got 19 in the game, and Simeon leads by 1.
19 out of 32.
Wow. Backcourt. Mason. He needs help. Triple team. Lewis Wool goes to the left.
Such a smart player. Great vision. He saw the traffic, dribble out of it.
Cobb has come off the bench and provided a lift for Evanston. There's a foul in the back by Kenneth Allen.
Here we see, Frank, the disadvantage of voting early on the all-tournament team. Bankston definitely deserves at least on that second unit.
Yeah, for sure. And there are other players around, too, who deserve that kind of recognition.
But you can't keep everybody in the assembly hall to cast a vote, so problems both ways. But Bankston is very deserving.
Yeah.
Simeon by 1. Evanston tries to get the lead back. Fling to Derek Brown, who fakes and moves. Brown's going to pull up and shoot.
Let it go, Ed.
Allen let the ball go out of bounds to Chicago Simeon. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and there's timeout on the court. The game is just as tight as always. One of your network sponsors, John Deere. In the first state final appearance, Chicago Simeon leads with 2:57 to go in the third period. In case you hadn't heard us mention it early, the school is a converted candy factory, and their enrollment is 1,850. The enrollment of Evanston, the largest team here, 3,550. They've got a faculty of 262, and there's some towns in the A division smaller than that. Now, Simeon with the basketball in blue. Look at the full court pressure. Whistle, out of bounds, Simeon ball. When Benjamin Wilson went out, Timothy Bankston really grabbed this hold of the game for Simeon. And Evanston playing without all-star Everett Stevens with 4 fouls. Cobb in the corner, turns and shoots. Blocked by Hall, taken down by Doss. Look at him run the court. Tribble to the goal.
Great move by Tribble. I think a play like that, an assist ought to go to Hall. He blocked the shot and kicked it out. There was a pass after it, of course, but the assist belongs to him. Maybe even part of the 2 points.
He's a great goalie.
He really is.
And blocking it and keeping it in play is the real skill.
Yeah. Great timing.
Simeon by 3. How long can Evanston go without Everett Stevens?
Well, they'll go as long without him as Simeon will without Ben Wilson.
Here's a whistle. Traveling violation on Evanston. And Simeon has the basketball.
Which means we'll be dead even.
And now Simeon could build themselves a 5-point advantage. Look for both of them to start the fourth quarter, Coach?
Oh, certainly. They've got to go.
Bankston comes up. Punch the ball inside to Hall. Down low. He turns, has the ball stripped out of his hands by Mason. Evanston runs. Cobb on the scoot. Nice drive. He couldn't get it to go down. And out of bounds to Evanston. Mike Cobb came blowing out of the blocks there.
He really showed great acceleration.
You see Cobb on the baseline roll out of the way of the ball, coming off the iron so it wouldn't hit him.
Here we'll see the great acceleration right here. Look at him blow out of there. It was a 3-on-3. He really didn't have good numbers for the break, but he made it on his own.
Inside it goes to Wool. Blocked again by Hull. The ball's on the court, and it'll be a jump.
You know, of all the block shots of Hull, none of them has resulted in a foul. Oftentimes that'll happen. You know, you go 50-50, a foul or a no foul.
And a happy Robert Hambrick looks on.
I don't know how happy Bob is right now. I would say happier if he's up 3. Concerned, perhaps, is the all-encompassing word there.
Here's the tip. And once again, Simeon controls. They seem to be where the ball is. Bankston. 1:40 to play, third quarter. They go into Hull again. Allen whips the ball to Tribble. Stop and pop.
That's a great move. A little fake to his left, and of course the Blue Jay. Classic Blue Jay there, Art.
Yeah, no question. Classic. No doubt about it.
8 for Tribble. 5-point Simeon lead. This is a very important time of the game for Evanston. 1:20 in the third. They'd like to answer with a hoop here. They're undefeated. Simeon's been beaten once. Look at Derek Brown slip the ball between his legs. Now Mason tries baseline. Can't. Comes back out foul line. Wool's in the paint. Oh, and he just didn't get a hold of it.
He was intimidated a little bit on that one, I believe.
Now with 1 minute, will Simeon settle for one shot? Bankston. Hull again, inside, whistle first, no goal, foul on Kling.
They're going after the first good shot they can get, particularly because Evanston's in the man-to-man defense, and I think they can exploit it.
Okay. Kling with his third personal. And off the bench for the Wildcats. 42, Kevin Ackles, a 6'5" senior, played on the Evanston soccer team, is in, and Lewis Wall is going to get a breather in the last 49 seconds of the period. Ackles is 6'5".
Ackles played a little bit against Pitt, played a key role.
This is Rodney Hall. Missed it. Rebound of Mason. Now Evanston has a chance to cut the lead to 3, 45 seconds. Third period. Frank Bassoni, Art Kimball, and Ron Nikovich, coach of Lyons Township LaGrange, here at the Assembly Hall in this title game. There's Ackles. Cobb, and a big relief help off the bench for Evanston. Ackles handles the ball neatly, and now he's in trouble.
A lot of traffic in that corner.
Cobb smartly gets it around to Brown. Down to 20 seconds. Baseline is Mason, stripped by Doss. Other end is Bankston. Bankston's got the ball for 2.
Great defensive play. Here again, you need to credit the defensive play for the assist probably down at the other end.
And now a turnover, and Simeon's on a roll. That was 21 points for Bankston. 10 seconds in the third quarter. Danger time for Evanston. Now Mason goes out. Francois Jean-Paul in for the Wildcats. Bankston in the box to Hall. Turn around one-hander. No. Tip. No. Kling has it. 3 seconds. 2. Kling in trouble. Gets it out. And that's the end of the third quarter. It's Chicago Simeon in the lead. 38-31 over Evanston. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. All year long, that team, Evanston, has been able to survive everything, and they've gone 32-0. But they've got 8 minutes to climb a 7-point mountain as Herb Williams talks to his Chargers. Can they do it? They've got their starters back in, let's see, Kling's in, Mason's in. There's your team stats. 31% Evanston, 12 of 38. Simeon got 11 more shots, 36%. Only 2 of 10 Simeon foul shooting, 7 of 9 Evanston, 35 to 29. Lots of rebounds and a 15 turnover for Evanston's a big key factor. Simeon's taking care of the ball much better.
Yeah, neither Wilson nor Stevens has returned at the outset of the quarter.
I must admit I'm surprised.
I am too.
Bankston with the ball, and he has been a load. Hull is playing behind him on the low post. Allen calmly holds the ball. This is Tribble in the lane. Yes.
Tough shot.
Bobby Tribble with 10. And the guards have 31 of Simeon's 40. Mason's alone and got it in.
Had to have that shot.
40-33. Trap press. Near steal. Here's the steal by Evanston. Cobb's got it. Goes in. Blocked again by Hull. What a great defensive job by Hull. This time he fouled.
He could have avoided that one because there was nothing to gain in trying to retrieve that ball on a loose ball situation.
I don't imagine Herb Williams figures he can put Stevens back in. Now he's got a pressure for the ball and is trying to get back in this thing. He's riding with 4 fouls, and so he'll probably hold it as long as he can.
Yeah.
Mike Cobb, a 62% free throws, and look at the combined records of these two great teams. Just 61 and 1, and that one was never completed. There was 9 seconds left when they called the game. Farragut 50 to 49. The missed free throw is responded by Hull, and here's a great steal by Evanston. And here's the ball on the floor, jump ball. It looks like Tribble and Kling. Evanston's a school celebrating its centennial, and throughout this year they've celebrated. It'll end Memorial Day with the world's largest class reunion. 13,000 invitations sent to alumni in 50 states and 20 nations. It's a big place, and they've got a big order now to beat the Chicago Public League champions. Inside, Doss, yes! Ronnie Doss.
Shot. He's coming off the bench and has done a lot of damage. Here comes Stevens.
9 down is Simeon. And Everett Stevens comes off the Evanston bench. Cobb has the ball. Fakes, doesn't shoot. Hull is there, that's why. They need to get the ball to Mason or Wool. Brown looking for Mason. Mason pull-up jumper. Yes, sir. 42-35 with 6:25 to play. And there's Brown, a great acrobatic play, but Simeon answers it. Oh, what a nice move by Bankston. Bankston to Doss. So cool and calm.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guard.
Inside it goes, a little give and go, and Bankston gets it in again.
Basic basketball.
23 for Bankston. 44-35, Simeon by 9 at the 6-minute mark. Stevens still waiting to get in. Brown comes over to Cobb. Mason fakes, moves to the baseline. Trying to get the ball to Wool down low, and can't. Cobb breaks free. Evanston needs a basket in the worst way. Cobb got it.
That's the way to get it. He just split the top of that 2-man zone, 2-guard front, I should say. Split it, went inside, and got the PJ in the blue.
Bankston looks like he can dribble through a crowded bus. He goes all the way. What happened? Violation, turning the ball over. He
turned it over, right.
And now Stevens is in. Gene Paul is in. Kling and Brown are out.
Evanston's been in this kind of situation before. They're going to have to call upon all their resources.
They won it all in '68. And here's Mason trying the baseline. No. Nice rebound by Everett Stevens. Cobb fakes and shoots. Wow. Goal! What a lift Mike Cobb has given Evanston off the bench. Watch this
one. The replay, we'll see Cobb penetrate the defense, pull up in the blue. It's a Blue Jay, Art, and it's a tantalizer. It's going to drop the right direction for Evanston.
It's a mighty big Blue Jay there for the Wildcats in this situation. They're hanging tough.
This free throw by Cobb could cut the lead to 4.
They've been in this situation so many times.
It's missed. And Allen gives the ball to Bankston in the back. Bankston avoids Cobb. Goes all the way into the paint and clears it out. Dribble, fakes, and shoots. And the rebound to Evanston. The Wildcats slice down the floor. Going through 2 men. Cobb has it slapped away from behind. On the other end is Tribble. Here comes Mason. Fouled him.
Oh, he really got clobbered on that one. We're going in the end on this one, as we'll see. The tip out, a long pass, right on the money, touchdown. Got clobbered in the end zone.
Well, that was Allen that threw that ball the length of the court.
Allen to Tribble, down and out. Right off the end of the floor.
Evanston, the motorcade, will meet their team at the northeast edge of the Old Orchard Shopping Center at 2 o'clock Sunday and escort them to the school for a welcome beginning at 2:30. That's Evanston. And there's Benjamin and Wilson. Doss played well.
He played very well. Be interested to see how long it takes Wilson to get himself on track and back in the game. He's been sitting for a while.
Dribble shoots. He made the first.
Silencer.
Bobby Tribble. 16-point-a-game average. Has another. A pair. 7-point Simeon lead as Herb Williams watches Evanston to see if they can come back. And they might be led by this man, Stevens. He pulls up and shoots way outside, no good. Simeon the rebound. The clock is an enemy now of Evanston at 4:30. Now watch Simeon, see if they take time off. Benjamin Wilson and Everett Stevens in the game with 4 fouls each. This is Wilson. And this is for all the marbles. The classic matchup. Look how patient Simeon is.
They're becoming very patient now.
Now we're down to 4 minutes.
They're working that clock.
They've got a 7-point lead and the ball, and Evanston is in trouble. Banks into the goal, and he's got it.
He's got that left-handed quick shot. You know, he can tuck it and roll it in his elbow and protect it and then unleash it, and no one knew what happened.
He's got 25, and here comes Stevens trying to answer. He can't do it. Once again, it's Simeon, and all of a sudden, the public league champions have the game by the throat.
They're beginning to feel it now, Frank.
Oh, Mike Cobb took a shot at that ball and didn't get it. Now they may need to foul. We'll have to check the team foul situation here.
Both runs are on the bonus, Frank.
Okay, next foul's bonus either way. Wilson turns. 3:10 to play. Simeon by 9. Evanston may have to put him on the foul line here.
Getting close to that. It's about time for it right now. 9 points to overcome in 3 minutes is a big chunk, and they're going to have to do it with the clock stopped, not running.
Under 3 minutes. Simeon running the delay. Evanston fouls in the front court. The foul is on Mike Cobb, and he fouled Tribble. Now there is Herb Williams probably telling his team who to foul and who not to foul. And
Tribble is not a likely candidate.
No, he's not the one they want.
No.
Let's see.
2 out of 4 at the line tonight.
He's been 3 for 4. Art tells us.
He has a dozen in the game. The lead is 10. Evanston will have to apply full court pressure.
They have no other choice. They're really going to have to go after it now.
In the clutch, Tribble delivers. Whistle and timeout on the court. Simeon in control, but there's still almost 3 minutes left. Stay with us. One of your network sponsors, DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. 9 undefeated teams, gone into the championship only to lose. And it's a great mountain that Evanston has to climb to avoid being the 10th.
Yes, and as we've said before, they've been in this situation so many times, pulled so many miracles out of the hat. They may have one left, but it's going to have to be a big hat.
The last public league champion was in 1980, Chicago Manly, led by Russell Cross, Willie Little's team. And they played the Effingham Flaming Hearts with Uwe Blopp, and you think that was two big centers.
That was a great duel, and Manley wasn't, or I should say Cross wasn't 100% in that tournament, they tell us. Bad ankle or something like that. They still won it.
That was a great game. All right, 2:45 to go in this one. Evanston with the ball in white, down 11. They must score in a hurry. Cobb hands it off to Gene Paul, who goes in and missed it. Tough. And here's a long pass that Evanston's going to retrieve. Simeon didn't want that. Mason answers on the other end, slings it up. Simeon's rebound. Allen. He's not very flashy, but he's there on the board. Now 2:15, and Evanston has to come out and hawk the ball. Bankston gives it up. Tribble against Everett Stevens, and Stevens has got 4 fouls. Bankston turns. Clock moves to the 2-minute mark. Right here. Still Simeon by 11.
It's going to the hands of number 14, who's being guarded by Stevens, and Stevens can't afford to make that foul. Now Stevens has got to come out on 14, and he's reluctant to make the foul on him.
And the blue machine continues to march.
Ball keeps going in the hands of Treble.
Yeah.
All right. Referee Matt Lorich comes over with a foul. And it's on Cobb. And going to the line will be Rodney Hall. Now Evanston talks about their defense. Just 1:45 to go. It would take a miracle comeback now.
Hull is 0-2 on the ball game at the line. Shot free throws all the way back in the first quarter. 0-3 actually.
Now Evanston calls timeout. Still 1:45 left, and one of your network sponsors is John Deere. In the Associated Press, the final regular season wire service poll had Chicago Simeon 5th, Evanston 1. There was not much to choose between all of those teams down the line, but right here Simeon is showing how powerful they really are.
Not much to choose at all, just a matter of positioning. I think everybody knew that somewhere along the line that out of that pack would arise a state champion.
Here's Rodney Hall. He's 0 for 3. Now 4. Evanston on the move. Cobb is going to go all the way and take it in, and he got it. Nicely done. He went coast to coast for 2. 50-41.
Penetrated well on that one.
1:34 left. Here's a wild pass that goes out of bounds, and Evanston's going to have the ball. So at 1:30 and a 9-point deficit, they're going to make their run if they've got one in them.
Got to do it quickly.
Here comes Cobb again. Cobb scoots into the paint. Stolen foul. Bankston. Not a really good idea.
Not at that time. Not to stop the clock and to put a player at the line with the opportunity to cut into that lead by 2.
That's the last thing Bob Hambrick wanted, but you certainly can't fault Bankston as brilliantly as he's played tonight.
He's carried the ball club.
He's got a miscue coming, doesn't he?
I'll say. And here's a chance for Evanston to get 2 with the clock frozen at 1:25. Mike Cobb, a 62% foul shooter, has 8 in the game, but he's 0 for 2 at the stripe. Boy, has he been a great reserve.
He sure has.
He won't be a reserve next year, I'll tell you that. This could cut the lead to 7. It's there. The press is on. Simeon in control. Backcourt trap. Wild pass out of bounds, Evanston. All of a sudden, momentum has come for the Wildcats.
And not much of the clock has budged at all.
Still 1:20. And if Evanston gets a hoop here, it's a 5-point game. Everett Stevens on the move, trying to free himself for the shot. He shot it, but he missed it, and Bankston pulled it down. Bankston in backcourt. Double team. Look how strong he is. Hall is nearly fouled. That's who they want to foul. Ben Wilson steps in, scores!
Got his first basket in a long time.
And he's fouled by Gene Paul. That's going to count. Wilson's down.
Wilson got an elbow or something underneath.
He made a big hoop just when Simeon needed one against the rush. That makes it up to a 9-point lead, and you see the clock.
We'll see in the replay that what happens here is it's a case of when in doubt, shoot it. And he had to shoot it, and at the process why Gene Paul, I believe it was, collided. There was a collision there which caught Ben Wilson off balance.
Not a lot of room under the hoop when you get Gene Paul in there along with Wilson, a couple of big men, and the collision was inevitable.
Benjamin Wilson. Didn't get it. Wolves got it, and here come the Wildcats. The clock says 53. Cobb swirls and swatted away by Wilson. They defend with their great leaping ability. They reject the shots. Cobb. Evanston's got to get a shot, and Cobb is going to be the man. It's down. He got it in. And a timeout, Evanston, with 41 seconds. The 12 points for Cobb. The score is 52-45. Evanston is down by 7. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. That's Ben Wilson with the basketball for Simeon. 41 seconds on the clock. Simeon by 7. Evanston fouls immediately, and that's the good idea. They have to stop the clock.
Foul Hull here, who I believe has not made a free throw, is 0 for 4.
So Hull will be marching the other end to go back to the free throw line. Evanston must hope here that Hull misses. They get the rebound and score quickly. If you're Robert Hambrick right now, you think 40 seconds is a long time.
It's an eternity for him.
For Herb Williams, it's a flick.
Herb Williams is a sandwich without meat in it.
Here's Hull 0 for 4. Missed it. Rebound to Hull. A break for Simeon on the long rebound. He's fouled again, and Tony Mason got him.
Fouled the right man again.
And you see the look on Herb Williams' face as that rebound got away.
Yeah.
They had the right man on the line. He missed it, and it bounced out off the fingertips of Wool Long. There's another one he missed. Intentional foul was called.
We didn't see that call made.
That was not indicated. And now the Evanston bench is saying a second ticked off. He said, now that unintentional call, you're going to put it back to 37. It did go to 36, and this ball's dead.
Right.
Frank, about the only thing Simeon's really had a lot of trouble with tonight's free throw shooting. They are 6 of 19 at the line.
6 of 19, and they're being able to still hold off Evanston. Let's see what they're putting the clock back to. Now you can see them moving the clock. They're just adjusting it now to get the right number on the board. There was no indication that was very evident that that was an intentional foul and 2 shots, gentlemen. I didn't see it.
No, it was not called. And imagine if we're in a tie game situation, and if you want to ice a free thrower, you really put him in a deep freeze in this kind of situation, clicking off 36 seconds on the clock, now resetting it and getting it back to the line again.
Absolutely. All right, now we're adjusting the clock. There you see a center court. You have Mike Hart, Norm Pavich, John Macon, Jim Griesbach all over there with Herb Williams and George Stanton and Bill Alderson for the Wolverines, all listening in. People are discussing exactly how much time there should be on this clock.
I think Bob Hambrick's concerned, too, during this discussion. Of course, Herb Williams talking to his Evanston ball club. And Hambrick says, hey, let's take a charge timeout, because his Simeon club is still out on the floor.
37 seconds it is. So we lost a second on the clock, and it took us several minutes to recover.
Yeah, it sure did. And as I said before, if this was to ice a free thrower, it really would do the job.
Well, Hall is there again. He missed again, but look who's got the rebound. Out of bounds. Oh, it's to Evanston. Okay, 36 seconds now.
Back to where we were. Same situation.
7 points. Evanston tries for their miracle. Oh, they need a shot. Here's Cobb. It's too long. Mason tried to save it, but it's going to be too little too late. 26 seconds. Then Wilson calls out a play. Dribbles in the backcourt. He gets it up to Wilson. Wilson wheels the ball up ahead. Simeon's home free. Dribble with 17. 52 to 45, a foul in the backcourt, a two-shot foul. And Simeon knows now what's within their grasp.
They're the new champion.
The honor roll of AA, 72 Thornridge, then Chicago Hirsch, Proviso East, Chicago Phillips, Chicago Morgan Park, in 77 Peoria Central, 78 Lockport, Maine South, Chicago Manly, Quincy in 81, East St. Louis Lincoln in 82, Lanphier last year, and Simeon's coming to 84. Coming on for Evanston, number 10, Jim Finucane, a 6-foot senior, and Everett Stevens goes out for the last time. A spectacular high school career.
To say the least, a great player.
And now Lewis Wool gets that same honor as 42 Kevin Ackles replaces him.
An outstanding player.
Brian Brown will come on, and Tony Mason, another senior, comes out, giving these accolades.
Well-earned, well-deserved, a fine player.
And a hug from the head coach. And Herb Williams can be very proud of this remarkable season that will end at 32-1.
32-1, and the last defeat came in the last game of the season. Should say the only defeat came in the last game of the season.
And now 32, Eric Dortch comes on for Evanston. And Francois Jean-Paul comes out. 43, Steve Wool. This is Lewis Wool's brother, 6'2" junior coming on. And Finucane comes out. Now he's got to stay in. There's not been a live ball, so he can't come out, I don't think. I think Finucane has to stay in the game.
Finucane has to stay in.
Yeah, that's it. Now he'll have to stay in until there's a dead ball, and then he can come out. Okay, they're going to take Mike Cobb out, and what a great championship game he had off the bench. All right, now they're just getting this straightened out. All that's happening here is now Steve Wool is reporting for Cobb instead of Finucane. Let me take a moment to thank our producer Joe Pate, our director Jerry Wheatley, assistant director John Duchesne, assistant producer Jan Morrow, statistician Brad Johansson for all the help in this tournament. Here's the layup, missed at the gun. The clock runs down to 6. 53 to 45. The Simeon fans are roaring now. Here's the ball inside. The shot is up. It's rolling off. The rebound by Ackles is good. 3, 2, 1. It's all over. And Simeon is the champion.
Great basketball team.
In the first appearance ever for the Wolverines of the Public League, they get their 30th victory in their last game, and Robert Hambrick gets the ride of a champion.
The ride of his life, I might add. Right now, he's riding a Rolls Royce.
We'll be back with the winners. One of your network sponsors, DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. presentation of the trophies to the winners and runners-up. Here's Tom Trent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the 1984 Boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. Making the presentation will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors and administrative staff. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the second place team will be Dr. Nicholas Manis of Niles West High School in Skokie, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. Edward Olds of Chadwick High School, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, please meet the Wildcats of Evanston High School, who finished the 1984 season in second place with a final record of 32 wins, only 1 loss. The principal of Evanston High School is Mr. Raymond Anderson. The head coach of the Wildcats, Herb Williams. Assistant coach, Mike Hart. Assistant coach, Norb Pabik. Athletic director, Willie May. Manager, David Fox. Number 10, Jim Finucane. Number 11, Mike Cobb. Number 22, Everett Stevens.
First team all tournament.
Number 33, Derek Brown. Number 35, Anthony Mason. Number 40, Brian Brown. Number 42, Kevin Eccles. Number 43, Steve Wool. Number 44, Lewis Wool. Number 45, Steve Kling. And number 50, Francois Jean-Paul. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the first place team will be Dr. Richard Stevenson of Dunbar High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. John Dowling of Watseka High School, who serves the IHSA as president of the board. At this time, please meet the Wolverines of Simeon High School, who finished the 1984 season in first place with a final record of 30 wins, only 1 loss. The principal of Simeon High School, Ned McCrae. Head coach, Bob Hambrick. Assistant coach, Bill Alderson. Assistant coach, George Stanton. Co-captain, number 25, Ben Wilson. Co-captain, number 10, Thomas Price. Number 52, Rodney Hull. Number 22, Tim Bankston. Number 14, Bobby Tribble. Number 24, Kenny Allen. Number 30, Ronnie Doss. Number 12, Edgar Chapman. Number 40, Daniel Patton. Number 20, Terry Sampson. Manager, Terrell Binion. Manager, James Randall. Scorer, Pamela Shannon. And statistician, Marie Davidson. Presenting the second place trophy will be Mr. Gail Borton of Frankfort High School in West Frankfort, who serves the IHSA as secretary of the board. Will coach Herb Williams, and the captains of the Evanston Wildcats, please step forward and accept your second place trophy. That's Tony Mason and Lewis Wool. Congratulations.
There you see your 4 finalists in order. Simeon 30-1, Evanston 32-1.
Presenting the first place trophy will be Mr. L.L. Astroth, who serves the IHSA as its executive secretary. Will head coach Bob Hambrick and the co-captains of Simeon High School please step forward to receive your first place trophy. Congratulations, Simeons. Co-captains Thomas Price and Ben Wilson.
And there you have it, the champions of Illinois, the Chicago Simeon Wolverines, with a victory over Evanston 53-47. So for Art Kimball and Coach Ron Nikovich, I'm Frank Bissoni, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening from the Assembly Hall in Champaign-Urbana. The champion once again, Chicago Simeon. Thank you and good night.
You've been watching the 1984 chapter of March Madness.